sister-in-law introduced me to their cousins at family dinner as Robert's wife, the one with the severe mental problems. I had just passed the mashed potatoes when she said it in front of 23 family members, including my husband Robert's cousins from Ohio, who I was meeting for the first time. What mental issues? I set down the bowl and looked at Robert, who suddenly became very interested in his turkey. Oh honey, we know all about your episodes. Robert's been keeping us updated on your condition for years. The paranoia, the anger problems, the delusions. We're just so proud of him for standing by you through your illness. His sister Amanda nodded sympathetically from across the table. It must be so hard, Robert. Last week when she accused you of lying about working late, classic paranoid delusion. We all know you'd never lie. I stared at Robert. You told them I was delusional for asking where you were until 2 a.m.? He reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Honey, you know you get confused sometimes. Remember? You thought you smelled perfume on my shirt, but it was just fabric softener. His brother James laughed. She can't tell the difference between perfume and fabric softener? That's worse than you said, Rob. Robert shrugged sadly. The doctors say it's getting progressively worse. Last month she accused me of having dinner with my ex-girlfriend Courtney just because she saw a receipt from Romano's. I haven't talked to Courtney in years. His cousin Beth leaned forward. That's so sad. Does she take medication? Robert nodded gravely. I try to get her to take it, but she refuses. Says she doesn't need it. That's part of the illness, denying there's a problem. I stood up. I'm not mentally ill. And you did have dinner with Courtney. She texted you thank you for the lovely evening. I saw it. Robert's mother Kendall sighed heavily. Sweetheart, this is exactly what Robert warned us about. You create these elaborate stories in your head. Courtney lives in Seattle now. How could he have dinner with her? I pulled out my phone. She moved back 6 months ago. She works at his company now, in his department. But Robert was already shaking his head sadly. See what I mean? She's constructed this whole narrative. Courtney does work at my company, but in the Boston office. We've never even been in the same building. His Aunt Carol patted his shoulder. You're such a good man staying with her through this. Most men would have left. Robert wiped fake tears. I took vows. In sickness and health, even if the sickness is mental. His father George raised his glass. To Robert. The most patient husband in the world. Everyone raised their glasses while I stood there frozen. He told you all I'm crazy? Kendall nodded. For 3 years now, ever since you had that incident where you threw his laptop. I turned to Robert. I dropped your laptop when I found those dating apps on it. Robert looked heartbroken. She thinks I have dating apps. I was researching gift ideas for her birthday, but her mind twisted it into something sinister. James's wife Laura looked at me with pity. Have you considered checking yourself into a facility? Robert mentioned there's a good one upstate. Robert quickly interjected. I would never force her, but Dr. Goldman said it might be necessary eventually if she keeps deteriorating. I laughed bitterly. Dr. Goldman? My gynecologist? I don't have a psychiatrist. Robert's expression was pure concern. Honey, you stopped seeing Dr. Roth months ago. You said he was conspiring against you, don't you remember? His mother gasped. She's getting worse. She doesn't even remember her own psychiatrist. Amanda pulled Robert aside but spoke loud enough for everyone to hear. Maybe we should call someone. She seems to be having an episode right now. Robert pretended to think. You might be right. Last time she got this agitated, she threw plates. I had never thrown a plate in my life. When did I supposedly throw plates? Robert looked around the table sadly. She doesn't remember the violent episodes. Dr. Goldman said that's common. The mind blocks out shameful behavior. His Uncle Richard stood up. Should we restrain her? For everyone's safety? Robert held up his hand. No, that might trigger her. Just everyone stay calm and don't make sudden movements. They were all looking at me like I was a wild animal. His cousin's wife whispered to her husband. Should we leave? Is she dangerous? Robert heard and responded. She's never hurt anyone except me. The bruises usually fade in a week. I couldn't breathe. You're telling them I abuse you? Robert rolled up his sleeve showing a bruise on his forearm. I don't blame her. She can't control herself when she's like this. The bruise was from him hitting the doorframe drunk last weekend, but everyone gasped. Kendall started crying. My poor son.